Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all you need. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Picture This Photo Books, where remembering is the key ingredient. As you can see for the upcoming Christmas season, how beautiful your mother looked at her wedding, and even more so, cheers, who hasn't missed grandmother's meatballs? The holidays are coming, and what better time to give a gift for remembrance that makes you laugh and cry all at the same time? Whatever a gift of grandma's recipes or just because, those smiles and tears will melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw at Picture This Photo Books at 646-798-0809. That's 646-798-0809, or visit picturethisphotoBooks.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Picture This Photo Books, bringing your memories back to life. They're whimsical, casual, or formal, and always uniquely you. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. And heard worldwide, Geo7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter today. And don't forget to check out the Mike Wagner Show merchandise at the MikeWagnerShow.com, and also on Amazon under the podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, throw pillows, tote bags, and more. It's all right here at the Mike Wagner Show. And also, you can check out the our sponsor, Mia Molson-Zia, and his great books like Missing, Once, Wrinkles, and more. Also, great merchandise like T-shirts, hoodies, and more at Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia store. And don't forget to also support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, as well as PayPal, and also the MikeWagnerShow.com. Make sure you give generously today. We're here with a wonderful lady who's a former actress, now founder and CEO of A Visibility and Publicity. She's also an expert and leading authority on color psychology, brand positioning, and publicity strategies. So listen up if you need an upgrade here. She'll tell you, and she's dubbed the Queen of Visibility. We'll find out why. And she has a storied career when she left Hollywood in 1 year and started her first ebook, which became an e-course and later a growing brand. And she also donates to a special cause. And live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in beautiful downtown Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, the very multi-talented founder and CEO is VisibilityVixen.com, Michelle Lewis. Michelle, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, Mike, excited to be here. Thanks for that fabulous introduction.
Oh my gosh. After reading her profile, I mean, I could see why you're the Queen of Visibility. I mean, you deserve that.
That's so kind of you. Thank you.
Yes, it is. And basically, you have a story where you left Hollywood in 16. You're a former actress, and now you're founder and CEO as a visibility and publicity expert, and also leading authority on color psychology, also brand positioning, and also publicity strategy. And you're dubbed the Queen of Visibility. And you also started an e-course, which later grew into what it is today. You also donate to a special cause as well. And before getting to all that, Michelle, tell us how I first got started.
So what first started was really something I never expected. I never thought, hey, I'm in college, I'm going to start my own business. I never aspired to that. I thought I'm following in my father's footsteps. I'm getting involved in film and TV. That's what I was raised in. And he made me go and get my college degree in that. I think he was trying to get me out of it, that I'd find it miserable, but I just plowed right ahead. And I worked in film and TV for over 10 years, working on shows like Chuck and Melrose Place and Pretty Little Liars. And I absolutely loved it. And that motivated me to start my own pilot. I wrote it, I produced it, I pitched it. We went to all these different networks. And I remember one day sitting at a show I was standing in for and seeing the notice on Variety that pretty much they had taken the idea for my show. And what's really hard about the business, it happens every day. I'm not the first person it's happened to. But for someone that's aspiring to the next part of their career, it can be really devastating.
Hmm.
I'd seen it happen to my dad a bunch, and I thought, this isn't the future I want. I want to create something that's mine that I have control over. So that's how my business started.
Wow, that is something. And before you got in your business, who are some of your favorite actors and actresses and TV shows and movies growing up?
Oh my goodness. It was a little different for me, right? Because I didn't watch that much TV and movies. It was the ones that I was on visiting my dad. And so I've got to tell you, like, you want to meet some of the hardest working people in Hollywood. It is those big action stars. I remember watching Tom Cruise and how he would prep for a role and how he would run and his physicality. I mean, he can run Olympian speeds. You can see that in
Wow.
the movie War of the Worlds.
Hmm.
I respected that and the fact that he was so friendly to me. John Travolta, another really hard worker and a very kind man. Nicolas Cage, funny, different, a total kook, which I loved. Rebecca Romaine Stamos, kind. Heather Locklear, just a sweetheart. And probably, for the younger generation listening, all the girls on Pretty Little Liars, they were so kind and we had a blast. So it's kind of widespread. The one that everyone would probably recognize from Handmaid's Tale and from the Tomorrow War, Yvonne Strahovski. I
Uh-huh.
stood in for her on Chuck, and she is one of the hardest working people I know. And yes, she did all of those action stunts in heels when I worked with her, and I had to be in
Ooh.
heels too. So we we share that fond memory of knee pain.
Oh my gosh. And you know something too? You could get in this, sponsorship and saying, well, I've got knee pain from this. And after doing all these running, I can take this, just put
Exactly.
that in the movie. Or
I
Tom,
wear Dr. Scholl's, insert into shoe here.
or imagine Tom Cruise. It's like, I'm running an Olympian speed, but I do have these Adidas and Nikes, which
Yes.
I can run into. It's like, you know what? If Tom Cruise was smart, I mean, he can make some extra money wearing that, or I can simply say, oh, I'm so thirsty trying to beat up like, 20 guys at once. I could use a drink or something like that and just show it off. And I mean, you can get creative these days, which is nice.
You really can.
And of course, speaking of creativity, that you also ventured into, writing your first ebook and everything. And what was that one exact precise moment that influenced you, getting into what you're doing today, and what actually just simply said, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my career, besides getting that notice about Variety and writing the ebook, and, just tell us what happened in between.
Well, I have to give credit to my dad. He said, why don't you write an ebook? He's always researching all kinds of stuff. I can never keep up with my parents. They're so much smarter than I am, right? And so I thought, okay, I'm going to give it a shot. I enjoyed the process. And then I started getting exposed to this online world where entrepreneurs were selling their knowledge online. And I thought, well, that's really interesting. I wonder if, especially for entrepreneurs, if they know how to make their own videos, because that's, obviously from my realm. So I started with the video university course. And
Mhm.
that's when I started figuring out, oh, wow, like a lot of people struggle with visibility.
Oh,
And
wow.
when I
Video
was
university. That's interesting. I have
yeah,
to
it's
tell some of my
it's
people
it's
about.
dead now for sure,
Oh,
but
it is. Okay.
I
I'm
eventually
getting some good
rolled
ideas
it.
from you. So,
Absolutely. Eventually rolled that into my Visibility Lounge program that I offer now, but it gave me all these ideas, getting people comfortable live streaming on camera, having their presence be easy and effortless. And especially what I learned with production design and film and what I studied with natural medicine later in my career, I started learning about color psychology.
oh,
And
wow.
that was something that not really anyone was talking about. And it was a very unique kind of recipe that I have for people branding themselves that's worked really well.
That's interesting. You talk about color psychology, and yet it's the least talked about. What got you interested in psychology, and why is it so important?
It was because one of my first launches failed. And I had gone to work on all this branding, and teal was my favorite color, and nothing happened.
Mhm.
So I thought, okay, yes, I can rip apart my messaging and all that. But what if it's the visuals? So I started kind of looking at what all the colors meant in film, in healing in the body, and all these things. And I came up with a formula of what I thought each color really meant and stood for.
Oh,
And I
really?
thought, well, what if I choose my color not based on what I think, but what I want my ideal client to feel when they come across me for the first time online? And that's when I decided on this really strong blue. So I
Mm.
relaunched, same kind of thing, but with this new color, and everything started changing. And I was able to get publicity so much faster. So this really became a cornerstone of my business and what I taught other entrepreneurs, because
Oh, wow.
this is really the first place to start, is with the visuals of when people come across your brand.
That's interesting. And why is blue considered the most powerful?
Blue was the most powerful for me because I wanted my ideal client, when they saw me for the first time, to feel a little bit of motivation, because
Mm.
usually they're pretty stressed out, they're tired, they don't want to market their business anymore. So could I give them just that little burst of energy of, hey, try this one thing, try one more time. For other people, they really need to inspire hope and focus, and so their primary brand color is more in the yellow family.
Oh,
Or
okay.
maybe they want to communicate balance and kind of having a little bit more peace. That might be more in the orange family. So that's where
Mm.
all that came from.
And what about green, red, black? Let's see, there's silver, purple, or what about say like green or say like gray or black or something?
So, what's really interesting is that when you look at the primary light spectrum, you have 7 primary colors. And what's funny is I gave a TEDx talk on this, and I had this scientist guy come up to me in the break, and he's like, "You didn't talk about magenta." And I was like, "You're right. I didn't talk about magenta." He's like, "That's one of the colors." I said, "But it's not visible in both light and dark. We both know that." And he was like, "Ah, shoot." Right. So, I think that mainly the colors that I talk about are the ones that are in that visible light spectrum, and that's red, orange, purple, blue, green, yellow, and gold. You can sometimes work magenta in there. There isn't a ton of messaging that I can put into white and black, gray, brown, just because they don't really resonate as frequencies in the body. So that's why I tend to stick to those main colors.
Hmm. And we also covered the blue and also some of the other colors, and maybe just pick a few colors from the spectrum. What does one each mean?
Yeah, so they all mean something different. I actually came up with a color quiz so people can figure that out really quickly. And each one of them is very different, like I said. So if you're wanting to symbolize people speaking in their true voice, that's going to be more in the green family. Or if you
Okay.
want to symbolize relationships and, that kind of connectivity, that can be more in the purple family.
Oh,
So the
wow.
focus is, what is that first emotion you want your ideal client to feel when they see your brand for the first time? And that's where you can then get into the analysis of which color is going to be symbolic for you.
Wow, that's rather interesting. And I was thinking
Mhm.
about the color blue you're talking about and what you're
Mhm.
wearing blue or some. Maybe think of the Detroit Lions. I could see why I was so attracted to metallic blue. It's like now I totally understand.
Right? Blue is interesting. I mean, they did a study in 1942 with blue and red next to each other, and they tested people to see if there was a physical response that people had when they saw these two colors. And they found that red was very stimulating. The pupils dilated, palms sweat, blood pressure went up, and the exact opposite happened when people looked at blue. So you can see that people do have a physical response when they see color, and that's why it can be so incredibly powerful.
Wow, that is so amazing. I mean, I guess I have to change this and start doing blue, or maybe I'm just splash some paint on or something. My wife's color is magenta, by the way, so if that tells you anything. So
There you go.
and of course, we'll talk more with Michelle Lewis, the Visibility Vixen, as well, too, about the 90-day visibility sprints, plans, and more. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by SonicWeb Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mosensia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Mosensia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Me and Molson Z has garnered great reviews and even loved and enjoyed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Me and Molson Z, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by our brand new sponsor, Picture This Photo Books, where remembering is the key ingredient. How beautiful your mother looked at her wedding, and even more so at yours. And who doesn't miss grandmother's meatballs? We all love meatballs. Well, the holidays are coming, and what better time to give a gift of remembrance that makes you laugh and cry at the same time? Whether a gift of grandma's recipes or just because, those smiles and tears will melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw at Picture This Photo Books at 646-798-0809. That's 646-798-0809, or visit picturethis.photobooks.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Picture This Photo Books. Bring your memories back to life. They're whimsical, casual, or formal, and always uniquely you. And don't forget to check out the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, and also 30 podcast platforms. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and check out the Mike Wagner Show merchandise at the MikeWagnerShow.com, and also on Amazon at the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, check out the Me and Molson Zia store on Amazon for great books, merchandise, and more. And don't forget to donate generously to the MikeWagnerShow.com, also on Anchor FM/support and PayPal. Make sure you do so today. We're here with a terrific lady who is a former actress, now founder and CEO of VisibilityVixen.com. And we talked about, going from actress over to writing an ebook and to where she's at today. And we also talked the importance of color. Now, going from color, and she offers 90-day visibility sprints. And, tell us about that. And, we got the color. Now, let's build from there.
Absolutely. So, with visibility, of course, first thing is presence. And that's why we talked about color psychology. And the second thing is being able to get recurring traffic, subscribers, and revenue to your brand business, whether you offer done for you services, courses, maybe you have a book, whatever it may be. The biggest struggle is getting that visibility. So, what I like to do is take people from the color psychology, once they've built that brand presence, into strategic visibility so they can start growing their audience. And
Mhm.
this is where 90-day sprints come into place. As you are doing right now, you have an amazing visibility vehicle, which is, a show. So for other people, it might be a blog, it might be a video channel, it might be a live streaming show. Picking whatever aligns best with your personality and being able to publish on a continual basis. And I like to have my students reevaluate every 90 days to see their growth, see what can be improved and tweaked upon before executing their next visibility sprint.
Wow, that is amazing. And of course, you have the 90 days that takes part of it. And also, you also start a publicity plan where you build a press plan, press kits, EPK, and everything. And, why starting a publicity plan is so important?
Absolutely. So we talked about visibility for building traffic, subscribers, and recurring revenue. Publicity is then the next step, which is building your voice on other people's platforms to help you gain your notoriety, your public trust, and your expertise being shown on a worldwide scale, hopefully. So with publicity, once you've done all the visibility work and you're getting that traffic, subscribers, revenue, you're ready to then execute a publicity plan. So I've actually teamed up with my good friend, Kristen Marquet, who is a renowned publicist, and we started the brand, thepublicityplace.com. And this is what walks entrepreneurs through setting up their press page, getting their email pitch together, and starting to pitch for podcast stages and publications.
Wow, that is amazing. And what are some of the do's and don'ts when it comes to publicity, visibility, and everything else? What are some of the do's and don'ts that you
Well,
offer?
let's see. If we're talking about publicity, I think one of the biggest don'ts is do not have a PDF one sheet attached to your email pitches. This is an older way of pitching. And nowadays, people don't really want attachments in their email inbox. It can be spam, it can cause viruses, as we all
Oh,
know. And you only have that, 8.5 by 11 real estate to share everything about yourself. Instead, I recommend creating a press page on your website that includes video and the shows that you've guested on, where you have a whole page to put all of that incredible information so that if a booker is interested in booking you on their platform, they can go to that, look through, see your expertise because you've worked on all that visibility, and they can go, this is the perfect person for me, and book you on the spot.
Wow, that is amazing. And I'm writing notes as we speak and getting in my mentality too. So,
Love it.
oh, that is so something too. And of course, you can also take it to a next stage where I'm hearing about, doing a TEDx talk. And that is like the number one right now. It's almost like a baseball player at Yankee Stadium for the first time, TEDx being on the big stage.
TEDx is a blast. It was one of my biggest goals, and I actually booked TEDx before any other public speaking gigs. So it was quite terrifying, but it was great. I was thrown into the fire. I had to figure it out. I talked about color psychology, obviously, and it was such an incredible experience, and it has led to a lot of other PR opportunities.
Hmm, that is so amazing as well too. And what are some other services that you offer?
That's pretty much it. I love talking about the color psychology with my color course, building a visibility strategy with the Visibility Lounge program, and then teaching people how to be their own PR firm, book their own publicity in our program, Publicity Jumpstart at the Publicity Place. That's the journey I love taking customers on so that they can do it all themselves if they want, or build an in um, team that can help them execute all these strategies without having to spend all their money hiring different agencies. It
Mhm.
can really be a drain on the budget.
And how can people get started?
Absolutely. You can reach out to me either at visibilityvixen.com or thepublicityplace.com. All the materials there. And I'm on social media. I would love if you did a screenshot of listening to this show, share it with me on the platform and let us know what resonated with you the most. This is a great show. We want to bring it as much visibility as we can.
Sounds good. We will certainly do so after I try to figure out this device right here. So I'm trying to look right here and okay, well, I'm sure we can figure it out later, but you also donate to a special cause. We'll talk more about that along with upcoming plans. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor, the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson's The Missing, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Also brought to you by Picture This Photo Books, where remembering is a key ingredient. Call Karen Shaw at 646-798-0809 or visit picturethisphotoBooks.com. And also check out the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com and over 30 podcast platforms. We'll be back with the founder and CEO of VisibilityVixen.com, Michelle Lewis, after this timeout. We're back with founder and CEO Michelle Lewis of VisibilityVixen.com here on the Mike Wagner Show. And she just has an amazing service, those looking for publicity and a lot more. And you also donate to a special cause as well, which is Samantha's Purse. And tell us more about that and why you chose to support the cause.
Absolutely. So Samaritan's Purse came to my attention a couple years ago. It's run by Franklin Graham, who is just an incredible person. And they work not only in our country, but all over the world to help. So, for example, when the flooding started happening in Texas, I'm sending them messages on Instagram. Hey, are you sending trucks down? And the next day, the trucks are going. They're there before the Red Cross usually.
Wow.
They're there, I mean, just boots on the ground. They're incredible people. And so, what I love to do is I love to give them to them every month, and I actually poll my students to choose which platform we give to. So, like, I have this card here, which is what they send you when you give a gift. And
Oh,
last
wow.
month
Nice.
we sent to uh, Columbia Relief.
Mm.
So they were having a lot of Venezuelan migrants who were entering Colombia. And so they provide overnight shelters, food, hygiene kits, blah, blah, blah. So it's an organization that I really love and am passionate about.
And that's so amazing too. And how can people help?
Absolutely. You can go to SamaritansPurse.org. And if you're going, well, I don't know if I can give financially, you can also look and see if there's a volunteer project nearby and you can go and you can support, whether it's cleaning up after floods or helping rebuild homes, wherever you're passionate about. They love having volunteers serve.
And what's the website again?
SamaritansPurse.org.
SamaritansPurse.org. Okay, we will certainly check that out. We're here with the Michelle Lewis here on the Mike Wagner Show. And what can you expect from you in 2021 and beyond, Michelle?
You know, I've been doing a lot of digging into my value ladder, simplifying things, only offering certain courses. And I know all of us can use a little some more simplicity in our lives. So I'm focusing on that in my business. I'm really enjoying this recent launch I did with my friend Kristen with the Publicity Place. And then in my personal life, like we talked about before the show, Mike, I'm growing a crazy garden. So I'm just trying to rein that in and my ducks and harvest everything before winter hits.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, and of course, we also talked earlier about the drought situation as well too,
Mhm.
and finding ways to manage, cope, and everything. But it's good to have some ducks as comic relief, but they do quack you up. I'll tell you that. So,
They do. They're pretty loud, especially in the summer. And I actually recently got a flow hive, which is a beehive. And so
wow.
I've become a beekeeper. So it keeps me pretty busy.
Oh my gosh. And then what do you plan on doing like when it comes to garden or expanding or anything like that? Or maybe get some chickens. So what do you have upcoming when it comes to your soon to be big farm or so?
Absolutely. My husband and I are actually looking for a little bit of a bigger piece of land because we want to pretty much do it all and do it all in house. So I'm sure that'll be goats and chickens and ducks and gardens. And we're actually friends with Clydesdale Ranch up in Sandpoint. And so they've said once we've got the room, we get a Clydesdale. So that's one of my dreams.
A Clydesdale. Oh
A
my
Clydesdale.
A Clydesdale's one of my favorites. Does it drink Budweiser or anything?
They actually are good friends with Budweiser, and they had a breed. They had one of the babies in one of the commercials. Like they have a
Oh
great
my gosh.
relationship with Budweiser, so it's really cool.
Wow.
I
An
know.
actual Clydesdale. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I'm about to get on the phone and order a Clydesdale right now. So I got to get the number here. So we'll do that. So yeah, I
And
need a
absolutely check them
Clydesdale.
out.
Okay,
Come
thank
do a
you.
sleigh ride. We do that at Christmas time. I help organize it. They are at Parnell Ranch. So you can look that up online. They're fantastic. I think you'd love it.
Oh my gosh, we certainly do so. And on sleigh rides, we used to give just in one of the downtown areas in North Dakota, they had Clydesdales just going through, giving sleigh rides. I'm like, oh gosh, so amazing. Yes.
Oh, I love that. Love it.
Oh, yes, it is. And we're here with Michelle Lewis, founder of visibilitybixen.com here on the Mike Wagner Show. And, just a couple more things, and we'd love to have you back on as well. You've been great. Who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Oh, that's a hard one, isn't it? I would have to say probably her name is Katya Varbanova. She's been really helpful for me because she's really spearheaded my vision of I can do things by myself. I don't necessarily have to be in a big mastermind or going to all these events. Like I'm more of a homebody. I'm more of a solopreneur, and she's inspired a lot and really believed in my business and given me some really great ideas.
That's very amazing. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point? Or I asked someone. I'm sorry. What is the best advice? Yeah. Oh God, I need more coffee.
Fuel, right?
Yes, there you go.
The best advice I could give to anyone listening is now is probably one of the most perilous and fear-based times in history.
Mm,
And we can't necessarily change that, but we can change how we react to that, and
mhm.
being able to step outside of it, to tap into our creativity, to minister to others as best we can, and to follow that instinct of what your purpose is. If you've been doing something else just to meet the bills, I totally understand, but maybe you can start a little bit of that side hustle, sharing your story, sharing your mission, because the world needs it now more than ever. So don't be afraid.
And that's very critical as well, too. Once again, Michelle Lewis of visibilitybixen.com here on the Mike Wagner Show. Michelle, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back on 2021 and beyond. Don't forget to keep in touch. Once again, tell us about your upcoming projects, what's your website, how do people contact you, where can people, just simply check you out or contact you about strategy or anything.
I so appreciate that, Mike. I've had a blast today. I know that so much work goes into this show. So kudos to you. Amazing job.
Thank
If
you.
you'd like to see me, feel free to come on over to visibilityvixen.com, thepublicityplace.com, jump on over to Instagram or any social media platform at Visibility Vixen. And in the meantime, have a great rest of your week and a great weekend.
And you as well, too. Once again, Michelle, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back on 2021. And don't forget to keep in touch. You've been absolutely terrific and all the very best to you.
You too, Mike.